What's up, awesome YouTubers? Ryan1988 or Justin back here to do a video for you guys. It's kind of a different angle because I'm going to do two things in this video. The first thing is going to be a tag. I got tagged in by Resident Vania. If you guys don't know who he is, he's my awesome bro. I've known him ever since I started making my very first YouTube videos, which was a long time ago. You know, he's one of my best friends, one of my best bros. And he recently tagged me about 2 or 3 weeks ago in a video that he did, and I just haven't had the time to do it, so I'm here to do it today. And I'm going to answer these questions, horror movie tags, and I'll tag a couple people at the end of the video. And then afterwards I'm going to do a room tour video of what my horror movie room looks like. Awesome setup, you know. I've shown it in the past, but some things have changed, and since I deleted a lot of my videos, none of those room tours are up anymore. So I thought, you know, this could be a really good, you know, start to show you guys what my horror movie room looks like, where I watch a lot of my movies, and where I have a lot of my horror movie memorabilia. But that'll be the last part of the video. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm going to get started with the tag video. And like I said, Resident Vania tagged me in this, so I'm going to leave his link down below. So please go subscribe to him if you haven't yet. Like I said, he's one of my best friends and my best bro. And I've known him for such a long time here on YouTube, and we've talked over the years. You know, I'm very blessed to have him in my life. But I'm going to start, and the first question is the first horror movie you remember watching. And there's some I'm going to name off. Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2 were some of the first ones I remember watching, but I remember watching them vividly when I was 5 years old, and I wasn't supposed to be watching them, but I remember sitting behind a couch, and one of my older sister's friends brought them over, and she was watching them, and I just remember not being able to move and could not look away from the screen because it was interesting. Really scary, but also interesting. I really didn't know what a horror movie was at the time, so watching those, they scared me as a kid, and I didn't watch a Nightmare on Elm Street film until I was about 16. I didn't watch the original again until I was about 16. That's how much it scared me. Some other ones, Halloween 1 and 2, I remember watching those so many times as a kid. They were on USA, up all night. They don't play movies anymore on there, which is really sad. Or, you know, horror movies like they used to. They used to play horror movies on USA, especially around October. And Halloween 1 and 2, I remember watching those on there. And then, you know, the Sci-Fi Channel would have them, AMC would have them. They still have them now, but I have a lot of great memories just watching Halloween 1 and 2 on all three of those channels as a kid. So those are some of the first ones. And then one that I remember watching the ending of. I didn't watch the whole movie, but the ending always stuck with me, and it was from Wes Craven's Deadly Friend. And if you haven't seen that movie yet, it's, you know, one of my personal favorite Wes Craven movies. Not a lot of people talk about it, but I love it. I still love it. But the ending, and I'm not going to give spoilers away if you haven't seen it, but the ending just, I remember that ending, and after I watched it, it always stuck with me. And as I was growing up and getting into my teens, I always wanted to know what that movie was. And years later when the DVD came out, I looked at the back cover and I saw the image of that ending, and I knew it was that movie. So that was one of the other first horror movies I ever watched. Second question, favorite horror movie. I would definitely say Halloween is my favorite horror movie of all time. It's my favorite movie of all time as well, the original John Carpenter one. Just so many memories watching that, and my mom introducing that movie to me on VHS and on TV. I just love that one. That's always going to be my favorite horror movie. I don't think that's ever going to change. But Fright Night, the original Fright Night is another one. I love the original Fright Night. Again, one my mom introduced me to, and I just absolutely love that film. So Fright Night would be another favorite horror movie of mine, but my number one would definitely be Halloween. And I have so many other favorite horror movies, but there's a lot I can name off, but I'm not going to because it would take quite a while. Favorite genre or favorite subgenre in the horror movies would be slasher films. I love slasher movies. I love, alien films, monster movies, all different types of subgenres in the horror movie genre. But slasher films are my favorite. I love slasher movies. I have a lot of them. Some are better than others, but there's a charm about slasher movies that I love. And they're just awesome for me. Friday the 13th, Prom Night, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Scream, like all those slasher movies I love. And there's so many others that I love. A lot of the 80s slasher movies are my favorites. House on Sorority Row, Slumber Party Massacre. So many of them. Number 4, the last scary horror movie you saw, or the last scary horror movie that scared you. And I'm going to name 2 of them off. The last one that really scared me was James Wan's The Conjuring from 2013, I believe. That one really terrified me. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say like fully terrified me, but that's one of those movies that every time I watch it, it creeps me out. And if I had to say there was a horror movie I could not watch in the dark completely by myself, it'd be The Conjuring. Something about that movie just really scares me. It could be the subtle moments that they have throughout the movie. It could be the fact that, you don't really see too much. You do see some of the ghosts and everything, but there's a lot of other times where you really got to think about what's going on. And, that one really creeped me out. I love that one. And then The Strangers, that home invasion movie from 2007 or 2008. It was a 2008 movie. That one, I could still watch that today, and it makes me jump at times. There's just something about that movie that's really creepy, and I love The Strangers as well. But those are 2 horror movies that I remember really creeping me out. The last ones that really creeped me out or scared me. Not a lot of them scare me, but every once in a while I'll get a horror movie that really just gives me chills or scares me a little bit. So, number 5, favorite Scream Queen, past and present. Rez, you named all 3 of these, and I love all 3 of these women. They are my favorite Scream Queens. Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, being one of them. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. Again, Halloween, Halloween 2, Prom Night, Terror Train, The Fog. Like, all those are some of my favorite horror movies, and she's just awesome. I love Jamie Lee Curtis, and it was an honor to have met her back in 2012. I absolutely love that moment. Linnea Quigley being another one. I love Linnea Quigley. I love her in her movies, and I love her in person. Again, she's somebody else I've met a few times, and she's just a sweet person. And I love, Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Demons, Graduation Day, Silent Night, Deadly Night. All these movies that she's been in, I just love. And there's so many others that I love from her, but those are some to name some. And then Danielle Harris being my 3rd favorite, or just one of my favorite Scream Queens. Of course she was in the Halloween films, but she was in so many other ones. Hatchet 2 and 3, she's awesome. She was in a Blood Night, the Legend of Mary Hatchet, I believe that's what it's called. I love that one as well. Just awesome. I love Danielle Harris. And again, I've met her a few times as well, and she's so sweet. So, love her. And there's so many other Scream Queens, Felissa Rose. I love her. She's another one I love, and just many other ones. But those are just to name a few that I love, and those are some of my favorite Scream Queens, past and present. Let's see, turn the page real quick. I actually wrote all these down on a piece of paper so I can remember them. So let's see. All right. New concept in a horror movie. I would say pretty much everything has been brought up or brought into a horror movie. But the one thing I would say is more gay characters. I would love to see that. You know, we do have gay characters throughout some horror movies, but not a lot. And so I would love to see more gay characters in horror movies. You know, I know we had Hellbent, and I know there's been some gay characters throughout some horror movies. But, you know, maybe like a main character, I would love that. Just a lot more gay characters in horror movies would be awesome. But like I said, you know, there's not a lot that you could bring new to a horror movie or a lot that you can bring to a horror movie that's already been put into a horror movie. But I would say more gay characters. I would love that. Favorite on-screen kill. This is number 7. And this is kind of tough, but the one that I always think really gets to me and that I love and it still gives me the chills today is Tina's death from the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, that death still freaks me out. It's a creepy death. I love it, though. It's one of the best moments in a horror movie, but still, you know, very creepy, very effective, very chilling. I love that. I love that death, but it's also really sad and really creepy. But yeah, that's the one that really sticks out to me when I pick a favorite on-screen kill. Tina from Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. And just leading up to her death, when when Freddy is chasing her around, chasing her in the alley, that's scary. That's another horror movie I don't think I can watch I could watch it in the dark by myself, but when I do, it's creepy. I love that movie though. Favorite horror movie franchises. You know, my favorite one being Halloween. I love that one. My second being Friday the 13th, and then the third being A Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, those for me are just up there. Everybody knows those franchises, though. So I also wanted to pick an underrated one. And I could have went with, you know, Phantasm and Prom Night, because those are some of my favorite other franchises. But the one I went with is kind of a modern one. The series has been around for, you know, 15 years, almost 16 years. But for me, I think this is a franchise that doesn't really get talked about too much. The movies get talked about, but when people talk about their favorite franchises, I rarely hear them talk about Final Destination. I'm not the biggest fan of 4, but 1, 2, 3, and 5, I absolutely love those movies. And so overall, that is just one of my favorite franchises. And what I love about that franchise is it's a supernatural slasher movie. However, what I love is that you don't really actually have a killer. It's just death following these characters. And I love that. And I always love the openings, you know, the opening climax to each movie, what's going to happen to these characters. I love the Final Destination series overall. Like I said, 4 I'm not too crazy about, but I love 1, 2, 3, and 5. And I like that 5 kind of wrapped everything up, and they actually had a new twist to that movie where, you know, if you basically, if I remember correct, if you kill somebody, death won't follow you. And I like that idea. It was a new little twist to that franchise. So, and then the last question is favorite horror movie directors. And there's a lot I love. I went with a past and modern horror movie director. And the past one, he's still directing movies somewhat today. It would be John Carpenter. His last movie, The Ward, I absolutely loved. I know a lot of people didn't like that, but I loved The Ward. But, you know, you got Halloween, Prince of Darkness, The Fog, Escape to New York, The Thing, Village of the Damned. So many other ones that I can name off that I'm just trying to think of right now. But I love John Carpenter's movies. I'm a big John Carpenter fan. Big Trouble in Little China. Not really a horror movie, but I love him as a director, and he's my favorite director by far. I think just watching Halloween, and the first time I ever watched Halloween, you know, I just knew I loved him. I knew I was going to love his movies, and I've never really been disappointed in a movie of his. You know, Ghost of Mars, yeah, I was disappointed in that, especially watching it as an adult. But most of his movies I love, and most of them I saw as a kid. So for me, John Carpenter is my favorite director, my favorite horror movie director. But a modern one, I would go, and it was a toss-up between Rob Zombie and Adam Green. But I'd say Adam Green. I love Rob Zombie's movies. I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan. He's one of my favorites. But Adam Green, I love his movies. They're just a lot of fun. You know, Frozen was really intense. That was an intense movie. But, you know, you got the Hatchet series, and they're just awesome. It's an awesome, fun trilogy that I love. Digging Up the Marrow was his recent one. And that was just a really fun creature feature movie that also had some kind of like jumpy moments in it. But I love Digging Up the Marrow. You know, Spiral was a great one. And then he did the Holliston TV show, which I loved. And I actually got to meet John Carpenter and Adam Green, and both were awesome. That was awesome to get to meet both of them. So, but yeah, John Carpenter and Adam Green, some of my favorite horror movie directors. I love them. I picked a past and a present one to kind of balance it off. But you know, Rob Zombie, Tobe Hooper, Wes Craven, so many others. You know, there's a lot of other great horror movie directors that I love out there. But those two I'll talk about. So, but that is all the questions. I believe I answered them all. Thank you, Rez, my buddy, my bro, for tagging me in this video. And I want to tag a few people. Beyond the Realms, Jason, you're tagged. So if you're watching this, do a video if you want. Sorry, I almost lost a train of thought there. Horrors Ball, Tom, I'm tagging you as well. And let's see, James the DVD collector, or James, buddy, if you're watching this, I'm going to tag you as well. So yes, definitely you three, I will, I'm tagging you, gosh, you know, trying to say what I'm trying to say. I'm going to tag you guys, and definitely look forward to seeing your guys' videos. So if you're watching, guys, definitely do one. And I'm going to leave a link to all of their channels down below. I'm pretty sure you guys know who they are. But if you don't know who they are, definitely go subscribe to them. Awesome guys, some of the best here on YouTube. And go subscribe to Resident Vania. I'm going to leave his link down below as well. He just recently made a new channel about a month and a half ago. And I'm so glad he's doing videos again. So please go subscribe to him. Watch his videos. He makes amazing videos. I've always loved him. So anyway, guys, definitely go subscribe to all four of them. James, Tom, and Jason, definitely do a video. I'd love to see what you guys have to pick or what answers you have for these questions. So, but anyway, guys, the last part of this video is going to be a tour video. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to show you around my horror movie room. And this is going to be my last video for a while. I'm going to take a break, about a month and a half off. But I will be back with other videos to come in the future. But I wanted to do this tag video and also show you my setup down here. So, but yeah, thank you Resident Vania, my brother, for tagging me. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun, and I really had to think about some of these questions, or, you know, really had to think about some of these questions and come up with some great answers. So I hope you enjoyed it, bro. So let's get started with the room tour. So I guess I'll just show you these right now. And let's see, I think this is zoomed in. Nope. Alright. So I guess I'll show you my posters real quick. And I always, every once in a while, I like to change these up and put new ones up. They kind of go around the room, you know, starting with Halloween. And then a really awesome Friday the 13th poster. And then, sorry about the glare with the lamp, but that's a fog poster. I absolutely love that one. One of my favorite artworks of all time. And then you got Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. And this one is actually signed by Mark Patton. So he said, for Justin, he's inside me, Mark Patton. And that's one of my favorite artworks there. One of my favorite Nightmare films too. And then over here you got and again, sorry about the glare. Had to turn on the light though, because the lighting when you turn it off down here is not the greatest. You got a Night of the Demons poster. And this is signed by 4 people that I met at Days of the Dead last year. First one being the actress who played Judy. And then right there is Kevin Tenney. I got Lene, I met her again. She wrote Run Judy Run, See Judy Run. And then Amelia Kincaid, she wrote To Justin, I love you Skittles, you're invited to my party. So, and just, I loved meeting these people. I thought they were all awesome. And if I would have had more money to meet the rest of the cast, I definitely would. But I only met those 4 because those are the ones I really wanted to meet. But yeah, and I love that poster. That's one of my favorite movies. And all these movies that I have, these are some of my favorite horror movies. So it's awesome to have these in posters, so, and framed up. And then you got a Fright Night poster. And this is my favorite vampire movie. Again, sorry about the glare. But this one is signed by 2 people so far. Stephen Jeffries. He wrote, His Dinner is in the Oven. So I love that. He played Evil Ed. And then Chris Sarandon wrote, To Justin, Chris Sarandon, welcome to Fright Night, Jerry Dandridge. I love that artwork. So, then some other things. I got some autographs. And again, when I always get, you know, new autographs from celebrities, I always like to change these up and take some out. But that is the amazing Tamara Glenn. Tamara, if you're watching this, I love you. You're awesome. But she signed that for me. Met her at Fright Night Film Fest last year. Nancy Allen. And then the actress Shawnee Vincent from You're Next. That was awesome. She doesn't do a lot of shows, so that was great to get that one. And then a Hatchet 3 mini poster signed by Adam Green and the producer Will Barnett, I believe. This is Hatchet 3. And then over here, real quickly, since I'm over here, I'll show you some of the other stuff. I got my fish lamp from a long time ago. He was in my videos. I still have that fish lamp. Got my Chucky doll. I've had these. These were some of my first horror memorabilia that I had. The Chucky and Tiffany doll. There's Chucky with his knife. And this is from Resident Vania. This is actual dirt from Nightmare on Elm, or not Nightmare on Elm Street, but Night of the Living Dead. That's my favorite zombie movie, and there's the certificate there. So that was an awesome little piece that he sent me. And then I do have some one-sheet posters. I don't have a lot of them, but I love these ones. Deadly Blessing, one of my favorite Wes Craven movies, and it's actually signed by Michael Berryman. And he wrote Beware of the Incubus. So that was awesome. Then you turn it around, and I don't see this one often, you know, even on eBay, like a one sheet or anything like that. So this for me is like one of my favorites, and that is a House on Sorority Row poster. Absolutely love that one. And then over here, this is from my buddy Brian from Chicago. He gave this to me when I went to Chicago, and this was an awesome gift, so thank you, Brian. If you're watching this, bro, thank you so much for this. One of my favorite pieces I have. And then, don't want that to knock over. Hold on, let's see. Turn it over. Sorry about the shakiness, guys. But then I got my Witchboard poster. One sheet right there. This is the, I think this was a video promo poster when the movie was coming out on VHS. But this is signed by Kevin Tenney as well when I met him last year. And Tawny Katane, who plays Linda in the movie, was there as well, and so she signed it. I actually got this poster at that show, so love it. But yeah, those are some of my posters, my one-sheets that I have, so have those. And then I'll take you around here. We'll start from here. I got a Mondo Sleepaway Camp poster that awesome YouTuber. Doesn't really make videos anymore, but Film Fan Pete, he sent this to me either 2 or 3 years ago, and I love it. And that is actually signed by Felissa Rose. Meet me at the waterfront after the social. And then this is from my buddy Resident Vania. Love that Jason figure. Some little horror movie stuff right there. My picture with Robert Englund. And then these are just a variety of figures. And let me turn on the light because there's some in the back. A custom-made prom night one. Classic Universal Monster ones. And then my Bloody Valentine. Again, a custom-made one. And then you go down here, you got some more. There's Ash, Freddy, Jason, Pinhead, CCG 1171. I remember you gave that to me, Chris. Won that in a contest years ago. And then Michael Myers, H2 Michael Myers. Custom-made Scream figure, Ghostface. And then a custom-made Prowler one. And then I got some other stuff. A lot of horror movie VHS tapes down there. Got some other figures. Got the Hannibal Lecter one, the Fly, or the Thing, and then the Fly. So those were all sent to me by Resident Vania, and some of these were actually the Freddy one, so the Jason one, the bobblehead was. So just a lot of awesome stuff. But yeah, and then turn off the light. And then we got, you know, a fake prop knife that I got at a convention, Michael Myers knife. I have it hanging up above the bathroom door. Some Joe Robertson artwork, and again, sorry about the glare, but there's Suspiria. And this is a combination of Evil Dead 1 and 2 that was at a Horror Hound weekend show in 2014, March 2014. And then House 1000 Corpses. Laserdisc. I believe this is a UK one. My buddy Resident Vania sent that to me. Got some other stuff there. Michael Myers doll that I've had for years. It used to be my mom's, but she gave it to me. And then the TV, of course, where I watch a lot of movies, a lot of horror movies are played down here as well. And then down here we got some related books, horror movie books, you know, Friday the 13th, Grindhouse, Return of the Living Dead, Teenage Wasteland, one of the best ones, and then some other ones. And then my brother, Resident Vania, he gave that to me a long time ago. I always have this here in the horror movie room. But yeah, that's awesome. And then some other Joel Robertson artworks. You have a Carrie one back there. One of the Trick or Treat Studios masks. The Blood Tears Michael Myers one from H2. And then I had to get both of them. I just loved them both. And there's the Michael Myers H2 one without the tears. And then a Jamie Lee Curtis artwork from Joel Robertson. When she went to Horror Hound, I picked that one up. And then over here, you have Deadly Blessing Scream Factory poster done by Nathan Thomas Milliner. I love that artwork. One of the best things, my buddy Resident Vania, he sent me a lot of stuff. He's awesome. But yeah, I love this. But he sent this to me, Freddy vs. Jason standee. I love that. Amazing gift. My Tiffany doll. Now the Demons, a little standee that another friend, Brian, one of my best friends, gave to me. And we got some horror movie comics, some Hellraiser, then we got some Horror Hound magazines, Fangoria, all these are down there. Little alligator Resident Vania sent me. But yeah, there's some magazines and everything down there. And then over here in the last part of the room is a autographed picture of Heather Langenkamp. She wrote, "Justin, you're the last of the Elm Street children." I love that picture from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Love it. My leg lamp. I'm a big Christmas Story fan, and I got this one year from my dad, so this was one of the best things I have in my collection. I love it. And then behind there, we got some other autographs. Tuesday night. Let's see. Bradley, I believe Bradley Rogers. I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes I'm bad with names, but he's from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and Stand By Me. And he's one of my favorite characters. Yeah, he dies off early, but he was one of my favorite characters in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. His death is classic. So, yeah, that. And then one of my favorite pieces. Got this when I met Adrienne King. She signed it. And then Shauna Cunningham signed it as well. So, and then over here, these are some of my other favorite pieces. I got these at a Scarefest last year. I think I got them both for $50 to $75, but these are amazing. And these are handmade paintings from a guy who was selling them. And there's a Michael Myers with a Blood Tears one that I love. Just amazing. And then the Halloween pumpkin from Halloween 2, and he added some blood and everything on there, so I love that. And it just, when you look at it from afar, it's amazing with that leg lamp, and when it's lit up, it's just awesome. So, but yes, and then real quickly, I'll show you the bathroom. There's not a lot in here, but I do have some pieces up here. Fright Night painting, right there. And then Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster right there. So, but anyway guys, that is it. I believe I showed you everything that is in the room. And currently this is what my horror movie room looks like. It's where I watch a lot of movies. It's perfect in the summer especially. You know, in the winter, we don't really have heat down here, so, but it's still good to watch movies down here. However, in the summer, I'm always down here a lot of the times and watching movies down here. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tag video. Like I said, I'm going to leave all four guys' channels down below. Jason, James, Tom, definitely do a video. You guys are tagged. And thank you, Resident Vania, my brother, for tagging me in a video. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be back soon. Like I said, gonna take a break. But I'm not leaving. It's not a goodbye, just a break. And I'll see you guys in the future. So as always, you guys are awesome. You guys rock. In with the positive, out with the negative. And go eat some Skittles. Bye, guys.